Commander's Call for the month of June. I am Staff Sergeant Ars, and I will be your MC for today's ceremony. Please stand for the arrival of the official party. Stand at ease.
At ease. As you were.
It's adjusting on its own.
Oh, so it just falls to you over top.
Yeah.
Oh, it's even better.
Oh, it's on there.
And strike two today, Art.
Someone's remixing the script right now.
Hey, can you go get my blood pressure medication?
As a narrator, you gotta be ready to adjust.
Because apparently it's not high
Hey,
enough.
and we saying keep y'all at attention.
Strike one today, Art.
Can you hear?
So you wanted to call every time he was watching?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, the streaming is also the mouse controls the thing. So if you want to move over to stand for it, you absolutely can. Just please be careful with the mouse,
That's strike two.
because everything else is finally working properly.
Yeah, man.
And you just jinxed it, brother.
No, it's not gonna mess up.
Art.
You just can't touch it. You just don't touch it.
Do me a favor. Like, just move to the left and then you can move back. Just like move to. I'm saying like
It's fine.
just walk over here and then walk back.
Not follow.
Well, keep talking like while you do it. Like you're giving a speech. Oh no, I stole this.
Tracking?
He stole the camera. I stole the stands.
Don't you gotta
Wait, is that the conference room?
This one's nicer. Well, it's probably because he's still in view.
What do you mean?
He's still in view of it, isn't he?
They walked out of the view.
It's gonna be an interesting YouTube. How's it looking?
Hasn't updated yet.
Pull up OBS. That's good.
stand by.
Room, stand shot.
Carry on. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Yeah. We would like to start off by introducing our new personnel financial counselor, Leah Pertulik, to speak about what she has to offer and what she specializes in.
Hey everybody, so my name is Leah Pertulak. I'm your new PFC or personal finance counselor. I am also a 17-year military spouse. We are new here to the Eglin area. Just came in from Altus, Oklahoma. Anyone ever been there?
Escaped it.
You escaped it, right? Yeah. Okay, so I was the PFC there about a year and a half. So now we're here. Husband leaves out next week for a year remote to Qatar. Yay! Okay. So I'm here today to kind of let you know what I can do for you. First of all, as a PFC, personal finance counselor, how do I differ from the GS? Fabulous employees that work over at the MFRC. I reside with them. I am not GS, I'm a contractor. But how do I differ? Well, I can meet you on your terms. Okay, I'm available to you and your dependents Monday through Sunday. If you have a weekend need, please let me know. My company does not like for me to run over that 40 hours a week. I don't either. So just let me know, heads up. How can I meet your needs? Well, there's always that lovely face-to-face. With the base shut down, we still can do a one-on-one. Just always has to be at a public location, just like you would interact with your MFLACs. Anything we talk about is completely confidential, except for those duty to warn situations. At that point in time, I'm contacting your first shirt, so on and so forth. However, as long as we have none of that, awesome, we can do over the phone. I also can meet with you virtually. I have an appointment today Clients live up in Crestview. No one wants to come down here, and I don't want to have to go up there. So we're going to have a nice little appointment virtually today over the computer. What I see, they see. It's great. I'm going to email them all the material after we're done with our conversation, okay? So again, my job is to meet you on your terms. Like, hey, I'm security forces. I don't get up work till 5, but, my bedtime's not till 10 o'clock. Can we meet publicly? Probably, maybe. Maybe I'm probably going to push you more towards a virtual or a weekend appointment at that point in time. But you get what I'm saying. So what can I assist you with? Well, spending plan. And I know that kind of sounds very flighty, but I'll tell you right now, a spending plan is going to be the cornerstone to your success in the military. And if you decide to transition outside of the service, eventually, whether it's retirement or your contract just ends, all right? Having a spending plan, I'm talking to you from the part of being a spouse's wife or a sponsor's wife. Having a spending plan helps to diminish a lot of the stress and anxiety that is associated with being in the service. We are in control of our finances. And I have some people say, well, I don't have a spending plan, but I'm doing just fine. I'm paying all my bills. Cool, but I promise you, you could be doing better. So I like this little analogy. Someone with a spending plan versus someone without a spending plan. You're in Walmart. You have this lady with 7 kids. They're all over the place. Lady, do you know where your kids are? Well, they're in Walmart. That's all she knows. That is someone without a spending plan. Someone with a spending plan has those 7 children lined up behind her in line. She knows where her kids are. That's someone with a spending plan. All right? So like I said, you might be doing good, but we could be doing better. And that leads me into my next topic, savings. Got to have savings. How many here are doing TSP? How many of us are doing TSP? Just about all of us, right? Cool. However, while investing is lovely, the foundation should always be savings. Can I reach into my TSP for an emergency? I mean, you can, but it's going to hurt you because that's a loan and that's paperwork, da-da-da. Savings. If we have a savings, how many of you have PCS before? It costs you money to PCS. God forbid you go overseas. That one's really going to cost you. All right? There's certain things that are just not covered through the military. So our savings are going to be there for times of PCSing, times of major financial emergencies, okay? If you have to get on a plane and head back to, I'm using my husband, his grandmother passed away 3 days after Thanksgiving. All right, that's going to be really expensive. We're flying, or he is flying from Oklahoma all the way to Northeast PA. Where did I pull that money from, folks? My savings. That covered his rental car, his airline ticket, and his hotel costs while he was up there. Moreover, if you have to get on an airplane, doesn't matter if it's emergency or not, don't go online to get your tickets. Please call your airline. Majority of your airlines are going to give you a military discount over the phone. They did for us. If it being 1,000 something, it was $730. Win for me. Okay. All right. So savings plan for PCSing, so on and so forth. The big emergencies and the little ones. Okay. All right. Savings and investing. You're investing in your TSP. That's awesome. Hope everybody in here is at least at a minimum of 5%, so you're getting those matching contributions from from the military. However, like I said, making sure that we're doing savings as well. I also can assist you with transition planning. Now, hopefully I will be honored the privilege of being able to teach Finance Day at TAP through the MFRC. We'll see how that goes. However, if we need any kind of financial planning, we're thinking about getting out of the military, guess what? I've got all those fabulous resources. I can help you plan financially, just to make sure this is even in your best decision. Debt management. If any of us are sitting here right now, we're like, you know what? I've got this credit card, that credit card. Come see me. Stay away from consolidation companies. Please do not open up another credit card to transfer that balance over. It looks bad. I'm also pretty good, I think, at also helping just do what I call general financial education. It's educating you on the use of wise and unwise use of credit, how your credit score affects you as a service member, and of course as just an independent consumer. Also, I teach you how to read and understand your credit report. Car buying. How many of us have bought a car before? Majority of us have probably done it wrong. I know I did it wrong several times until I learned, okay? I help you go through that nice process. Even if you're like, I've already done this before. That's awesome. But you may have done it wrong. Like I said, I went I bought 3 different cars, realized how wrong I had done it. So anyways, not only that, but I also sit down with you, make sure that whatever car you're looking at obtaining, guess what? It fits your budget. For my brand new Baby Bird A1Cs, anybody below staff, what I always like to tell you is your first car that you're buying on your own may be like an orthopedic shoe, okay? It's not exactly as fly as you want it to be, but I promise you it needs to be 2 things, reliable and affordable, okay? Same thing with home buying. I offer home buying courses, and of course, if it's you and your spouse, we can do a virtual appointment. I've done a lot of those. You guys sit on your couch at home, you and your spouse. I go over the whole process. You see my PowerPoint presentation. It's pretty awesome. Reload, we were talking, if you're relocating, I have resources for you when you're relocating to your next duty station. It's taking your current spending plan. Hopefully you already have one. If not, we're going to do that first. And it's also hopefully doing some financial planning to the best of our ability for your next duty station. We're looking at your new BAH rate, loss or gain of spousal income, cost of utilities, so on and so forth. All right? Pre and post deployment briefings, you will see my face. You will have my resources as well. I work with spouses partially because I am a spouse, but also too, when the service member leaves, spouses were usually ones left to kind of manage the finances. That also leads me to the next point. I also do a lot of spousal counseling when it comes to money, because that can be a very sensitive area. It can be very heated, very emotional. I know our first base housing, you should have seen the holes in the wall. Just kidding. But I digress on that point. CMTs, those are common military trainings. You will get those. My Vector will ping you. My Vector will also give you the option. Do you want to do it online? Guess what? Sometimes the online option doesn't work. You can go to the Military Family Readiness Center, or you can also contact me. I will run through, do that CMT with you real quick. Remember, everything we talk about is always confidential, right? Except for when we're doing a CMT, because the MFRC has an at-first system. That info has to go in there, so it gets cataloged. So when the My Vector gods come down, they check it. They check you off. But just until that time, I'll make sure you do get a certificate showing you saw me, what you came in for. That way, if your shirt's saying, hey, I'm getting a notification, you need to do this, you're like, I've done it. I've already done it, okay? All right. Same thing when you talk about the CMTs, divorce, marriage, vesting. You'll get one of those once you get your 2-year mark, vesting, HSP, and promotion. Just an example. Through those CMTs, through my Vector, you might be getting. Okay. I'm kind of done talking, but I'm just going to kind of just lay it out here. Anything you come to see me is always confidential. If you are struggling or you think you might be struggling to pay a bill, for the love of everything holy, do not wait for that bill to come past due. Call me. I have a whole game plan of what we're going to do, and the first thing usually is picking up the phone and calling our creditor, all right? Now, if you have let it get to a point, it's starting to get a little scary, because you guys know if you miss a payment and you know, creditors start calling you, who else are they going to start contacting? Your shirts, management, that kind of thing. Contact me, because then with, of course, your permission, if your first shirt is saying, hey, you know, we got this, I can jump ahead of that and say, hey, sir, they're already in bed with me. We're sitting here. We're going ahead. We're creating a financial plan for them. Okay? All right, folks. It's great meeting with you today. I'm over in the FSS, but guess what? I'll meet you anywhere. If you need me, my contact info is being circulated for you guys. Reach out to me via cell phone. That email address is kind of iffy right now because contracts are changing. So just reach out to me via cell phone. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you, Leah. Major McPhee, Chief Burton, would you please join us front and center to recognize our promotion recipients for the month of July? Woo! Promoting to A1C from Delta Flight, but unable to be here, A1C Chase Cervantes. promoting the senior airman from S4, A1C Ezekiel Plata.
Get cocky.
A1C Plata will be penned on by Staff Sergeant Mark Basio and Senior Airman Andrea Mihai.
No mercy.
Ready?
Our next promoting today is promoting to the rank of Staff Sergeant. The enlisted force structure states non-commissioned officers are the backbone of the United States Air Force. This tier focuses on training, supervision, and task execution. NCOs lead by example as role models to all and ensure proper use of resources within their control. They become proficient and internalize the airman leadership qualities and progress toward intermediate and advanced foundational competency levels. Additionally, they continue their development through enlisted professional military education and career broadening positions. As they begin building a strong network within and outside their organizations. Promoting to Staff Sergeant Christina Bell.
I know her.
Staff Sergeant Bell will be penned on by her grandmother Cecilia Dantine and her husband Silas Bell.
Yeah.
Really hard.
They're hard. Domestic.
It's a little extreme.
Wait, remember, domestic violence.
Ready?
Can I do it now?
Right, you ready?
Yeah, ready? Ready? Punch me. Go ahead, punch me.
You guys want to get in a picture, family? Come on, family, you came all this way. You gotta get a picture.
Sorry, everybody.
No.
Hit her too.
Punch her too. Get her too. All right, everybody. Lady got a few spankies, don't you? Come on. You told me to hit you, I said. Thank you.
Sergeant John, you look out of place everywhere you go.
Staff Sergeant Bell, prepare to accept your charge. And please have all the NCOs in the room stand up. You are charged with ensuring that personnel and resources under your control are effectively used. You are charged with remaining alert to detecting adverse moral trends and initiating corrective action within your control, providing appropriate feedback to supervisors. You are charged with maintaining the highest level of communication and rapport with subordinates, remaining attuned to their needs, being ever mindful that the key is empathy, not apathy. You are charged with actively encouraging and motivating on and off duty involvement in unit and base activities by leading the way. You are charged with ensuring that people are treated fairly by all agencies and activities, both on and off base, and initiating corrective action in any instance which violates this principle. You are charged with always wearing the uniform properly and ensuring compliance from subordinates. You are charged with a personal responsibility to take advantage of on and off duty educational programs, which will enhance your professional development in preparation to assume increased leadership responsibilities in your quest to attain higher NCO grades. You are charged at all times with presenting an image of competence, integrity, and pride, the image of a professional, non-commissioned officer. Do you accept these charges?
I do.
Amen. Let's go. Wow.
throat is raw.
Wow.
You good?
Water.
You good, Pia?
Man, I need some water. You only accepted once. You only
Now,
accepted
we would like to present a letter of appreciation to Senior Airman Joshua Sandoval and Staff Sergeant Ryan Privet from our commander, Major Andrew McPhee. Senior Airman Sandoval and Staff Sergeant Privet kept 81,000 personnel and $13 billion in critical assets safe with their response to a gate runner who was under the influence on June 4th, 2023. Their actions are how defenders should operate, and we appreciate them greatly for their response.
Stand in the middle, man. You got it.
Now we would like to present a letter of appreciation to Master Sergeant Robert Vidalis from the United States Air Force Inspector General Colonel John Laporte. Master Sergeant Vidalis showed professionalism, hard work, and expertise as a subject matter expert and was especially helpful during the planning, coordination, and execution phase of the recent Air Force Material Command inspection at Hill Air Force Base.
That's right.
First time in this year.
First one.
Good job, B.
Next is an LOA but unable to be here to A1C Hannah Leitner and A1C Anthony Jones. The Bayview Event Center manager, Leslie Thompson. Both A1C Leitner and A1C Jones went above and beyond volunteering for multiple hours at a team lead to park vehicles at the Summer Splash. Their hard work made it possible for 2,500 Eglin guests to safely park a manageable distance from the event. Next, we would like to present the most proactive law enforcement static patrol during the month of June, with 9,851 ID cards scanned from Alpha Flight but unable to be here, Staff Sergeant Justin Bean.
Warning traffic right there.
Next, we would like to present the most proactive law enforcement mobile patrol during the month of June with 11 citations written from day shift but unable to be here, Officer Robert Plant.
Yeah.
To all, thank you for defending Team Eglin day in and day out. S1, the floor is yours.
Hey everybody. So it's the summertime, we're coming up on PCS season, getting everyone ready to go. One big thing that we're noticing with the new body composition program is that not everybody's scheduling themselves to achieve their waist measurements on their birth month. Remember, that has to be done. It's a requirement as of April 1st. All the section leads have the list of who can measure waist. Additionally, all PT tests must be scheduled by the 15th of every month. If you have questions about your due month, come see S1 and we'll tell you exactly when you're due. Make sure you're scheduling those because if you're not scheduled, S1 will schedule. We'll email you the time and date and you might not like the time that we choose. Next, one big thing that we want to push, especially with all the new deployment tasks coming down, is update your VRED and SGLI. That means who is going to be told for the next of kin. So if in some event that you aren't able to come home, who's going to be told who's going to get all your money at the end of the day because you just all have a $500,000 settlement waiting for you when you pass away. Additionally, one last thing is for outbound assignments. You guys have to schedule final outs no later than 14 days out. Additionally, I said this to all section leads and everybody here in the room will know right now AFPC is doing a big order stop. We are tracking this issue and we're working with AFPC and the MPF to resolve this. But as of right now, please prepare for the worst case scenario and getting Diddy moves and getting your orders maybe a week or two before RNLTD. If you have any questions, come see S1. Does anybody have any questions on the open forum about anything personnel related?
LT, for individuals who are doing skill bridge or want to do skill bridge, how, you said 14 days before you're out with your final out of the unit. In the instance that, say someone was trying to go to their skill bridge in a different state, how would they go about doing that if it was not 14 days out? Does that make sense?
So for separations, that's a whole nother process. So that's a virtual final out. So that's that for outbound assignments. So if you're PCSing from one base to another, that's 14 days out. you have to final out before taking skill bridge. You have to see the S1, you have to get it approved by the commander. You must be fully out processed from the base and the unit before you even begin skill bridge. We've already seen 2 to 3 cases regarding that. That is unsat because you guys are still on our books until you guys depart Eglin. You're not on permissive TDY status, and in the event of a hurricane, a mass casualty, you are tracked as being showing up to work every single day. So that's an unsat on us, and we're going to be tracked that as metrics throughout the entire emergency event. Did somebody else raise their hand? I thought it was... Oh, sweet.
Thank you.
Teammates, how are you? Good, good. One thing that I want to say, I hope I'm not sounding like a broken record, but I just want to say thank you for everything you do. I appreciate you. You got a tough job, especially right now. It's hot outside. It's miserable. People come through the gate. They're treating you miserably because they're having a bad day. So just thank you for what you do. We really do appreciate you. I'm not going to be up here long-winded, but I also just want to tell you guys how much I appreciate the camaraderie that this squadron is, right? We treat each other like a true family. We are aware that one of our family members has a medical condition, and you know, our guest here, you know, I'm big on just talking about the elephant in the room, right? So one of our guests was here, it caught her off guard. We didn't want our family member to feel like, hey, you need to leave, right? And so I'm thankful for you guys because you never make anybody feel outcasted in this squadron, right? We all know that we have our own things going on, but we never make fun of each other. We never outcast or ostracize each other. So just thank you. Thank you for that. That means the world to all of us, that we know we can come into an environment where we know that these are our brothers and sisters and we're not going to treat each other poorly or laugh at each other. So just thank you for that. The final thing I would say, continue to check on one another, right? So when you're walking down the hallway and somebody just seems like they're not quite themselves, they just look a little down, hey, how you doing? If they say, I'm good, you know, just stop and say, hey, are you really good? Do you want to talk for a few minutes? They might be good. It's probably just hot. But, you know, just that second time to kind of check goes a long way. So with that, I just say thank you for all you do. I appreciate every single one of you. For everybody who's going to have a 4-day weekend, I hope you enjoy your long weekend. Call me if you need anything. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I live all the way up in Crestview, but we will make it work. So if you're in Crestview, let me know. If you're not in Crestview, let me know. If you guys need anything, don't hesitate. Questions? All right, teammates, have a great weekend.
13, you got anything? You don't? All right, I was got to give an opportunity. I'm gonna be short long. Get it short long. All right, I got it. Well, basically, I want to say thank you to the promotees. So good job promoting the senior airmen. That's like the visual. You made the senior airmen. So now we're gonna expect more out of you. So just know that we're gonna expect more out of you. Senior airmen is the most fun rank because you can act like you don't know something, but you kind of know something. And some days you can act like you know something. You know, get to play around with it. So have fun with that. For the staff sergeant, Sergeant Bell, congratulations. First time in the NCO. Yesterday, you rocked it. We were so proud of you. I know your family was out there. We're hooting and hollering. That's a good family event. I'm glad I was able to see you get promoted. So I continue to do great things you have been. I know I expect a lot from you, so continue to do that. And for the rest of y'all should be inspired by that, right? You should see him shooting the charge, loud and proud. You should be loud and proud. Like you said, you only do NCO charge, one time, right? Try to, right? That's a game plan. That's a game. No point intended, right? No point intended. But more importantly, continue to take care of one another. I always tell you that we don't have money, don't have time. We get driven to do this, we're going to do that. But one thing we can rely on each other. So continue to look to your left and right, find your battle buddy, and continue to connect. This is what you ask a lot of us. Every single day, ask a lot of us. Every day, somebody's asking us to do something for it. We get random phone calls every single day. Pedestrian, traffic, can I come through the ceiling, through the roof, whatever, right? But just know that that's our challenge. So all we can do is continue to take care of one another. Your command team will continue to fight those battles. We lose some of them, we win some of them. That's just the nature of the beast. And you know how that information, how that goes. I know Northgate is coming, right? Northgate is coming, right? How many of y'all know that? All right? It's gonna fucking suck, all right? We're at test base, we're gonna test it, right? Hopefully the test fails. So, we're gonna have to embrace it, right? The wing has burdened that on us to get it, burden that on us. Yeah. Now we need a pool because it's so hot, right? You know, you get it, right? But
Don't quit the game now,
but the main point I wanted us to know is that, hey, you gotta have fun doing it. Even when it sucks, you still gotta have fun doing it, all right? So we're gonna look at that, and then we're gonna fight those challenges as they go along. So if it fails, it fails. At least we can tell the wing we tried, all right? Don't purposely make it fail. But if it does, it's okay, right? But anyways, have a good weekend. Continue to take care of one another, and I'll see you out there in the streets, okay? Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It is afternoon. For some, it might be night if you're watching from home or wherever you may be. Can you hit the next slide for me?
Yes, sir.
So really just wanted to get in front of you all and introduce myself formally. I'm sure you've read the bio. So this is kind of the who I am and a bunch of pictures, so you don't have to read. Draw your attention to the left side. So I grew up in Bainbridge, upstate New York, on the far left. It's a tiny town. So I am adjusting to Florida weather. It does not get as hot in upstate New York as it does here, nor do they really have winters. So we'll see. The far left, so military heritage. So my grandfather was a B-17 pilot in World War II. He got to fly and see things from the air. I got to spend time on the ground. So we both joined the Air Force, however, slightly different roles. That picture on the left, so he was a POW in World War II, and so when I was assigned to Germany, my dad and I were the first ones to go back from the McPhee family to the POW camp that he was at. So that picture on the left is me at his POW camp in 2019. So kind of a cool story. My dad joined the Peace Corps, so he kind of went 180 from the military, and then I decided to go back to the military. I like to cook, hunt, fish. That's my son in the middle hunting doves. He didn't shoot it, don't worry. I don't give shotguns to 4-year-olds. Actually, I did give a shotgun to the 4-year-old. He was holding it, so I do. He didn't shoot it though, so I'll change what I say. I did play rugby, so the picture in the middle, that's me in college. On the far right, playing rugby. The card at the top, so I did not get a financial briefing when I was young. So my first car was a 1983 Chevy Camaro. It was fun, but it was a money pit, and it was a piece of junk. But I learned, so don't do what I did. Get something more reliable. Not a purple T-top 1983 Chevy Camaro. But have gone to college, so I put that at the bottom just so you guys know I actually can be an officer. There's proof out there, so I did go to a school. I like to cook as well, so you should see some of that within the unit. I hope to use some of those skills for the good for all. I like to work out, and then on the far right are some of the assignments that I've had from Malmstrom. That's where I started, and then went to Dover. I was at Altus as well, so that was my first command. Spent time in Germany, and then I was at Fort Leavenworth for the last year. So going to college, not going to jail. I tell people I had an 11-month stint at Leavenworth, so it sounds like I did some hard time there. But I still had a rank, I didn't have a number. And then lastly, my retirement, I'd just like to think that'd be cool to retire someday, is a food truck. So I'm gonna have a food truck someday, and then hopefully live on a lake, I don't know. Still a few years till then, but might as well start thinking, because I know it's gonna come sooner than later. So that's kind of who I am as a commander. If you guys have any other questions, my door is open. I tell people the only time I close it is when we're having sensitive personnel discussions. But if the door is open, I'm not going to say I'm not doing anything important, because I probably am potentially. But feel free to poke your head in, and if you have any questions, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about or anything that's interesting. So let's go to the next slide to kind of a little bit about like some, I guess, philosophy and some, I call them red lines, things that I, if done, might make me kind of upset. Not kind of, will make me very upset, and have very little empathy when it comes to handling those. So in terms of my philosophy, so humility is very important to me, especially in this occupation. Yes, we have to be good at our jobs. Yes, we need to be confident. At the same time, though, we are serving everyone else around us, so, and each other. So putting ourselves above others, being good, but also not being cocky. Trust, really trying to work on it and developing trust amongst the organization from the top down to the bottom horizontally. Additionally though, building the trust in the base populace with our abilities. People should be running towards us for help because they trust that we will help them, not run away because they think we're gonna get a citation or something like that. We do that stuff to keep them safe, but we need them to trust that we have their best interest in mind. Communication. Communication is vital, especially in an organization of this size. Once again, going up and down laterally, having these commanders calls so that we can pass on information. You can hear directly from your commander, from the chief, so that potentially stuff doesn't get lost in translation. Feedback, everyone wants feedback, but then when you actually get legitimate feedback, people get upset because it may not be nice or it may not be fun to hear the honest truth. Our goal is to provide feedback, not to break people down and make people feel bad, is to make you better, to help you improve, to let you know this is where you're at, but this is where you can be. And through hard work and training, oh, someone's calling me. I don't know the number, can't be that important. And then my last one is work hard, play hard. I've been doing that my entire career, but make sure it's in the right order. You can't play before you work. I've been teaching my 8-year-old, and my 10-year-old this. They wanna play before they clean up their toys. However, you work hard when you're on shift. You take care of business, but then once that shift's over, you have the opportunity to go home, recharge, whatever that might be, with your hobby, have fun with your friends, with people within the unit. Maintaining that balance is critical because if you just if you just work all the time, you'll burn yourself out. If you play all the time, you won't accomplish anything. So that's where I stand on my leadership philosophy. So red lines, these are things, like I said before, hate talking about them, but just good for you to be transparent so you guys know exactly where I stand. Criminal violations, once again, we're law enforcement. If we break the law, that degrades our credibility as an individual and as an organization when we try to enforce the law on Eglin Air Force Base and the surrounding areas. Harassment or discrimination, that's the litany from sexual harassment to racial discrimination. You all know, everyone goes through that training. Everyone knows what falls into those categories. Zero tolerance for any of that type of activity within the unit and then also outside when you're just out and about amongst each other. Laziness, like I said at the top, I like to work hard. I don't like to be lazy, but we work hard, we play hard, but when we're working, we're not gonna be lazy. That's how we get stuff done. If you wanna make changes, it happens through hard work, because I can tell you, no one is gonna make a change for you. You make the change yourself, and then we keep working, and we can actually we can improve the unit and the installation. Integrity violations goes back to, once again, we're law enforcement. Your word has to carry more weight than anyone else on this installation. And what I mean is, if it's a security forces member saying one thing and some random maintainer saying another thing, your word needs to carry more weight. And the day that it doesn't is the day that we have failed as an organization and we're losing that ability to do our job. So that's why integrity is critical in what we do. And last is egos, goes back up to humility. So we can be proud of what we do, we can be proud of the organization, you can take pride in your accomplishments for our promotees. However, check your egos at the door, because if everyone checks their egos and is willing to work with each other, we can get a lot more stuff done. So that's a little bit of my philosophy and some of those red lines. So moving.
Answer? I like beat up.
Nah, it ain't. You're already in the phone. Can you go to, there's another slide. Here we go. Oh, that one, there you go. So transitioning, moving forward, this is prime time. No one has seen this yet. No one's laughing. All right, so mission. The mission of the unit, assist, protect, defend. Very simple, so that when you're going about your daily business, you don't have to try to think about what exactly I do. So we assist others, we protect resources, we defend the installation. Assist, protect, defend. Anything that we ask you to do is going to fit into one of those three kind of bins. If you're doing something and you're like, this doesn't seem to be assist, protect, defend, you may not be doing the right thing. And if we ask you to do something and you say, well, that's not assisting, protecting, defending, we're asking you to do the wrong thing. So use those as kind of a guidepost. Here's the vision. You guys can all read, so I won't regurgitate it for you. really focusing, the key thing is battle space. I included that because your battle space is not just at work. I really want you guys all to be able to dominate work, but also dominate at life in general, just your personal lives, because someday you will transition out of the military, whether that's one enlistment or 30 plus years. So you need to be good at work and successful at work, but also successful at whatever you do in your personal life as a sibling, as a parent, as a friend, whatever that might be. So that's one thing that we're really focusing on. That goes into the priorities. So as you know, training was important in the unit. It's going to continue to be important. I think training is one of those foundational things that drives the unit forward and allows us to be successful and credible amongst the wing. Second, adaptive thinking. The problems that we're facing, the adversary that we're facing, that we're going to face and are facing, require us to think differently. And I've told, I think, the senior NCOs, I think I told you, to think big. So when you walk into a problem, look at the solution and think of what is the best solution that we can have. Don't start thinking, well, we can't afford it. We don't have the manpower. We don't have whatever the case may be. Let me, let the chief, let us try to figure out how to get that for you. Tell us what you want and what is the best solution, and then let me try to figure out how to get the resources to make it happen. I'm not going to promise anything that we can make it happen every single time, but sometimes thinking creatively outside the box, we can find it. It's out there. We just have to look hard and not be lazy, and there's a solution out there that we can get after it with. And cultivate a family environment. So this is, you may think, man, I was from a dysfunctional family. No, we don't want a dysfunctional family environment. A healthy family environment where everyone can grow, you know how to get to that next level, you feel connected, and that you're part of something bigger than yourself. I think if we can develop that type of environment, it allows us to be successful as a unit, but that takes everyone being a part of that, okay? And last, develop inspired leaders. Security forces units should be setting the standard in the wing, and everyone should be looking to us and want to be like us. That may be crazy talk, but they look to us to set the pace, to set the standards for how leaders should act, how units should function. And when you do this correctly, people will look to us. You'll notice that a lot of people want security forces members to be execs, to find these jobs around the wing of like ALS and other things, because they know what we bring and they know the impact that we can have. So that's something that we're going to work on at least for the next 2 years while I'm here. Do you guys have any questions? Like I said, I'll be around for the next 2 years. I'm not scheduled to go to the FBI Academy or anything like that, or get pulled to go to school early, so I already went. So I should be here for 2 years, but like I said, doors open. Come by, and I'll also see you guys out there all over the range. I still have to figure out where everything is, but I will figure it out eventually and not get lost. So thank you for your time. Have a safe weekend. Make smart choices, and see you guys all out there at work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Major McPhee. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you, everyone, for showing your support.
Ours, Air Force on. Ours.
No.
Carry on.
All right, industry. Good job.
Oh man, stressed.